Welcome to a new video with the electric trucker. I'm really happy you're joining me on my trip around the world with a battery electric expedition vehicle. You already saw which electric truck I'll be traveling in, and now things are getting really exciting because the entire vehicle is being modified by different custom builders. It gets a living cabin installed in the Netherlands, and afterwards both get custom wrapping. Let me quickly show you the current state of the Mercedes eActros 600 expedition rig. It's a classic eActros 600 chassis, which means it has the wheelbase of a tractor unit, but with a frame overhang in the back. Up front, the look is still relatively normal, but as you can see, two auxiliary spotlights were added to the sun visor at the top. You can activate them separately without them coming on with the high beams. Combined with the Matrix LED headlights below, having good visibility off-road is super important. The next thing that immediately stands out is the tires. In the off-road sector, you can get 20-inch off-road rims. But those are super specialized and sometimes hard to source, which is why we stuck with the classic normal 22.5-inch rim size. We specifically chose 385/65 because it's one of the most common sizes you can find anywhere in the world. And this tire is the X-Works Z2, the latest generation construction site tires. Construction tires offer the perfect symbiosis between highway driving and off-road capability when you're stuck in gravel or mud. Any expert knows you usually have dual tires in the back with narrower width, but here the back uses the exact same tire as the front. That's really clever because this way it has a single tire setup. Normally dual tires are used to handle heavy axle loads, as the electric axle is rated for 13 tons, but we are far below those limits because we have completely different priorities, making the single tire setup extremely practical. It gives us two major advantages. We only have one tire type, so every tire on the front, back and spares uses identical rims and tires. The second advantage is that they track in the exact same line. If I have to plow through mud, the rear tire follows the exact same width and track as the front tire, which makes a huge difference. And these aren't standard rims either. They feature a custom offset to pull them inward further. Normally, these eActros trucks are 2.55 meters wide, but we need 2.5 meters in Australia. When driving off-road, you risk running over rocks or dealing with rough terrain. And what's the most valuable part of this truck? The 3 battery packs installed underneath. We added massive custom metal plating around the batteries so scratches, rocks or debris won't hit the battery directly. It's a completely custom-built job that nobody else has ever needed except me. We also mounted work lights at the rear, which can be switched on independently from the cab. Having extra lighting makes reversing so much easier. The side wind deflectors and top spoiler were removed because we don't need them, and this special subframe was installed. We need spare tires since tire damage is probably the most common breakdown cause for expedition vehicles. We can only mount one tire on the living cabin because other equipment needs to hang there too, and having just one spare isn't enough. You're probably wondering what's inside the box.
What's in the box?
Usually that's just a utility box for shovels or tools, but we built an Alpitronic 50 kilowatt charger into it that can slide out. But why carry our own charging station? Because this lets me charge virtually anywhere. It plugs into a 63 amp 3-phase outlet, and with different adapters I can charge at almost any 3-phase source. The eActros can only charge via DC at over 800 volts. While that's easy to find across Europe, it gets much trickier abroad. With this setup, as long as it's 3-phase, I can charge from 11 kilowatts up to 43 kilowatts into this Alpitronic box, which converts AC to DC. The cable feeding out has a CCS plug that plugs directly into the side of the truck. As a quick disclaimer, this is a custom application using a stationary charger, so I won't be using it every single day, but have it available for emergencies. Alpitronic rushed to deliver this right on time, and as a project sponsor, they put a ton of work into supporting me with this charger. We're doing a quick driver swap on the way to the Netherlands, and I wanted to show you one thing that I forgot to mention earlier. The living cabin that's going on the back also needs a bit of power. It's essentially off-grid, so it doesn't need to connect to any high-voltage components, but it still requires electricity. That's why we had a NATO socket installed right here. This gives us 24 volts from the low voltage system of the eActros, which is continuously fed by the DC-DC converter. The energy ultimately comes from the high voltage traction battery powering the cabin through this connection. I can relax a bit now because Werner is driving the truck. Let me show you real quick what else is special in here. First off, we've got the dog, very special indeed. Then we have the bed lifted up right now. Flipping the bed up lets you slide the seat further back. The passenger seat is also air suspended, plus they are heated and ventilated. The driver's seat even has a massage function you can activate. Moving on to custom features, there's this upper cabinet wall you haven't seen yet. We had the open space, and storage is always crucial when heading out on a world trip. The second modification we made is adding swivel bases for the seats. You just pull this little lever and you can actually rotate the seat around. A lot of expedition vehicles have a small cutout so you can walk straight into the living cabin. We don't have that here. It's complex to build, and this was a very time-sensitive project, and neither the truck nor the cabin was originally designed for it. But if I ever have to spend the night in a sketchy area out of necessity and need to be ready to pull away instantly, I'll just sleep up front. We have those auxiliary spotlights up top, which you can see from inside here. In the lighting menu under exterior lights, there's a digital switch which was configured as a custom option that lets you toggle whether those top lights turn on alongside the high beams or not, but I'll still have to see how they perform. The truck has reached its final major build station. The eActros will get a Bliss Mobile living cabin mounted on it, a 13-foot cabin with a length of 4.20 meters. Bliss Mobile was my favorite due to their clear focus on electrification. In these living cabins, there is no gas and no diesel except as a backup, and instead you get a massive battery, solar on top, an induction cooktop and electric heating. That clear focus on self-sufficiency fits an electric truck perfectly. They built container-style cabins in various sizes depending on the expedition vehicle. Since this project was put together on a tight schedule, the timeline was extremely critical. This modular approach allows for a spontaneous installation. Many other bodybuilders I spoke with said they were fully booked with a 2-year lead time. It will be exciting to see the final setup with the body attached. I hope you will join me for it next week. Have a great day and see you then. You're a truck driver or company in the process of switching to electric trucks? Then the eTrucker app is your best choice to filter for compatible charging parks that allow trailers or night charging along your route. Available on Android and iOS.